Hi everyone and welcome back to the Colour Cave where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem and today I am back in my Hannah Curls and colouring book and would like for you to join me for a little while as we continue on with our unicorns here. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So I am still very much focusing on this right hand page here. So I want to thank you all very much for your comments regarding use of paint and or pencil for manes, horns and wings. And I'm going to go with the suggestion of sticking with pencil for the manes, and that will give us plenty of scope for the stars and whatnot. We will have to tackle these rainbows at some point. I think I'll leave them till the end. That feels like an end game item to be tackling. So I have got two sets of pencils here. I have got some pink pencils, and this is going to be for our turquoise unicorn, and I have a set of blues picked out for our mango coloured unicorn. Mango, I don't know. So let's start off with the blues here. These are of course the Caran d'Ache Pablos that we've been using all the way through at this point. So our darkest blue is ultramarine, which is 140. I also have here blue, I'm very imaginative, 260, that's going to be our mid-tone. And then our lightest colour here is the light blue, which is 161. What a grubby pencil, that looks like it needs a good clean. I don't know where that's been sitting. For our pinks, which we're going to use up here, we have, this was a bit of a hard one for me and I kind of struggle with the pinks and the Pablos. So I may switch these out. I'm not convinced that this is the right combination of colours, but this is what I'm going to start with. And if I do decide to switch them out, I will obviously let you know in due course what I'm switching it out with. I have pink, which is 81. I then have rose pink, which is 82, and ruby red, which is 280. And very quickly, I'm going to show you these swatched out here just so that you can see what I am talking about. So there we go. I'll give those a quick zoom in as well if you want to pause the video and go and find yourself something similar. That is for you. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about this then. So first of all, let's go one unicorn at a time. If we have time today as well, I would like to start on some of the spangly paintiness, because that's fun. Why not? So let's start here with our little friend, and generally when we think about hair, I was having a look at the horses here at the stables to see if the same is true of horsehair, and it kind of isn't. Normally what we would see is the darkest colour at the roots and the lightest colour at the ends, notwithstanding any very strong lights or bright highlights. I kind of want to go between sticking with that but also having some of the strands a little bit of a different colour as well. So I'm going to start with this front part here. Just put some light blue down here and show you what I'm talking about. I feel as if I'm kind of in My Little Pony territory here a little bit. Okay, so really what I'm thinking about is having strands that kind of alternate between the lightest blue and the darkest blue. But all of them are going to be darker in this root area here. So I'm going to pop in. Now you'll notice I'm using a flicking motion here, and it's just to try and keep that sort of hair texture. So let's go with the ultramarine on this one. And then I'm really wanting to darken it in that part at the top. So I'm going to leave this sort of highlighted part here and then utilise mostly the blue, which is the mid-tone colour. So I'm actually leaving quite a lot of the texture of that pencil there. To the likes of this part here, I'm going to use more of the light blue. And again, that's probably going to be a little highlight there. And then if I use this mid-tone blue, we're getting a little bit of variation there. I don't think there'll be much going on up here. That will be pretty dark in there. But let's follow this down. Again, I'm trying to flick in the direction that the hair's going. Let's keep this a lighter one as well. It's a little bit of a light blue in that centre section there. Again, that's probably going to be where the highlight is. If there's light coming from this side. I'm not sure if there is, there isn't. We've already discussed light sources in this. That's a decision that I'll leave up to your good selves. I mean, let's face it, all the decisions are yours to make. I'm just trying to sort of suggest things here. Obviously, everybody's picture is going to be slightly different and everyone has different opinions on these things. Okay. So because this is quite dark here, I want to make the strand in behind a little bit lighter, and it's just so that we've got contrast. You all know how I feel about my contrast. Because it is magical unicorn hair, there isn't really anything to say that we need to follow the rules, is there? And we'll make this one at the back darker. Again, just... like, I quite like the fact that we can get some definition in between the strands. Like, I like that in this sense, because I think it just sort of lends itself to the wildness of said unicorns, because they're clearly tramping through the sky having a jolly. You know, just kicking up purple star clouds. So why would they not have the hair? The hair. So this part in here again, and probably make that quite dark in there. I feel like it because it's tucked in. And as we come out into the light, we could maybe start lightening that up and have a highlight there. Oh, that's funny. This has just reminded me of something. Just recently, there's been an Amazon Prime Day. They've called it Big Deal Day or something. Most of the stuff isn't worth shouting about, but I did actually find a woman's like baggy t-shirt, and it's the colours of the cave logo, so I had to buy it. So you can keep your eyes peeled for that in a live stream. I will wear it on purpose. I just coloured in that blue part, and that's what made me think about it. It was quite funny. Okay, we've got these little strands up the back here, and I feel as if they should be quite light. They're like the equivalent of like wispy bits or like baby hairs. Like, do unicorns the unicorns have baby hairs? They do now. So let's stick with the blue at the bottom here, and we'll go into our light blue. We just won't use the ultramarine at all for this part. Yeah. Keep that blue to the base here, and then this left hand side. And then I think I go light blue first here. Yeah, one of the things I was looking for in the Amazon Big Deal sale was, I was hoping that I'd see some of the Amazon Basics pencils, because quite a lot of you have asked me to review them as a pencil brand. So, you know, I was kind of seeing if I could pick them up as a bargain, but no such luck. We'll probably still end up getting them anyway, just not right now. But I might have that as a video in the pipeline. The other thing I was really curious to try as well, this is, I'm going to use mid blue for this last one, and maybe just a little bit of light blue at the end. Since my conversations, because a lot of the time I've mentioned the W.H. Smith pencils, and apparently they've changed the formula. I've decided that I'm just going to go and buy myself a set and see how good or bad they are, because people have said that they're not as good as they used to be. And I have to find this information out for myself, because I've always recommended them as a good starter set of pencils for people in the UK, you know, if they're not sure they want to use colour pencil or not. I really enjoyed them, and I used to use them all the time. Anywho. Right, okay, I feel that this section here, this is like coming down and round, so this is going to be a highlight section here. So I'm going to put in the lightest blue there, and I'm going to have that all the way across, because that's like on a curve. That whole bit all the way across there. Yeah. And then I'm going to use that flicky motion, and I'll do each strand individually. But I want to use my darkest blue here. Yeah. And then I'll probably come into the mid blue. That's actually tucked away in behind. That's like a wee sneaky extra section in there. So I'll make that the darkest blue. Yeah. And then I can use this. I want to sharpen this up. I've got a really soft point on this. I need a pointier point for this escapade. I've got my M&R sharpener here. It's just a hand. So normally I would use my Tagal. One of my favourite sharpeners is my M&R brass bullet sharpener. That's what I use for my my graphite pencils. So I'm in there for the M&R sharpeners. I really am. That was maybe a bit heavy-handed actually. I felt like that was a bit much there in this midsection. Now these sections of hair are long enough for us to be able to employ all of the pencils. So I'm now on to my lightest colour. Again, could probably do with a sharpen up here. Smarten things up a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's a really good pointy point on that one. That won't last long. Oh, told you. Hey, that wasn't going to last long at all. That's funny. not even pressing that hard either, it just was a ridiculously pointy point. So this little section that's in behind it, I wasn't sure what I'm doing with. I'm going to make this the mid blue. So we'll pop that in there, that's funny. And we'll just kind of pretend that it matches up with this part, she says. So I'm going to keep the mid-tone blue. Oh, I'm very optimistic. A lot of hair going on out here, isn't there? Yeah. Okay. So again, I've got this kind of lighter section here. Probably take that all the way to the tip, actually. I'm having such an odd experience with the texture of this pencil on this paper. Like, sometimes it seems to be really happy and other times it's just not. Someone did actually comment, I can't remember if it was in a live stream, please forgive me if I can't, if I don't recount this accurately, but someone mentioned this and said that they found the sort of smoothness inconsistent depending on what colouring book they were in. I'm going to use my darkest colour here, so I'm going to use this ultramarine in this little section here. And I am finding the same, and I did say at the time, I said, well, it's funny you should say that because it must have been in a live stream. Must have been. I am finding that with this, that it seems to be quite temperamental. Oh, I've broken a pencil as well. Oh no. Oh, we've got some fixing to do. Okay, let's do some sharpening. That is the first time I have ever broken a Pablo lead. Ever. How strange. Well, it's not strange. Well, it's strange that it's taken so long. I've had these pencils for quite some time, and you can tell by the size of the ultramarine that, you know, it's not like I haven't used these pencils, but yeah, first time for everything. Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore these pencils. I'm going to use the mid blue here. I like them very much, but what you've got to remember is they are very expensive, so I always feel, I don't know if anybody else is the same, you can let me know in the comments. If a pencil is very expensive, I have very high expectations of that pencil. It's like the Derwent Lightfast. I expect them to be more or less invincible and never wear down because they're an absolute fortune. I don't know whether that's unrealistic or not, but it's just kind of like, I've spent all this money on these pencils, you know, I expect them to do the doing. Not just do the doing, but do the doing extremely well and surpass my expectations. Okay, that's a wee bit better. So I want to kind of keep this, like, the ones that are in behind I do want to keep darker. And the way to do this is multiple light layers, not one really heavy-handed layer, because you'll build up more colour. Yeah, especially that bit, that's like proper tucked away in there. Then I flick that round and I can use the blue now. Blend those two together. And obviously, even really expensive pencils are going to break every now and then. But that just goes to show you how good the quality is with the Pablos in terms of the core, because that is the first time I've ever broken a lead. Okay, so let's pick out, like, there's another little tucked away section. Let's do that in there. I do wish they were a little bit less temperamental though on this paper. I mean, I'm getting on okay with them. I'm not having to fight with them or anything like that, but I don't know, I just expect it to be a cakewalk. Let's have that in there. Let's start flicking out. So I am deliberately leaving a little bit of the white of the paper in places. And it is just to give that feeling of hair, basically. I feel like that should be filled in though. So this one down here, this looks like a mid into a light blue to me. Again, I find this easier, like I'm picking my way through this very methodically here. And I find that the easiest way to do it, rather than, you know, some people would do all the sort of darkest sections first. I am not that person. Have to do it like one strand at a time. Okay, so that to me is probably the same part as this. And that just kind of like disappears into a wing there. So let's make this one really dark. You know, and not see much texture there. Because what that lets us do is it gives us a backdrop of contrast for the strand that's in front. Okay, let's tackle this one next. So start with the mid blue there. Flick that round, and then we've got the lighter blue here. Just for that bulky section in the middle there. And then I'll put a wee bit there too. And I'll have that out into a light end as well. So I'm kind of sticking to my dark root light end theory-ish. Sort of. Kinda a little bit. Sort of not really. And again, this dark part in here, look. And we'll bring that out and down round there. And then with the normal blue. The normal blue and the ultramarine pencils seem to blend really well together. Like, that's a nice blend in there. I like that. Okay, and I just want to run a wee bit of the light blue over the top of that. Just to kind of brighten it up a bit, not necessarily to take away from that particular colour. Those two colours blend really nicely together as well. Ooh, fancy pants. Now, here's the thing. I think these two sections in here might be a bit of horse or unicorn. Probably likely, so I might have to touch that up later. Damn it. Got my mid blue here, only using a wee bit of that. And I'm going to go straight into my lighter blue here. Try and get a mid-tone one in there as well at the back. Got a flyweight end here. I'm really enjoying packing this ultramarine into these really dark spots. Really satisfying. I don't know why, but it's just really satisfying. And then I'll maybe get a little mid-tone strand in there as well. I think I might add in a little bit of the ultramarine here. I'm really just assessing this by the strand that's next to the one I'm working on. I do that quite a lot, just because I feel like with sections like this, you can kind of bend and or break the rules a little bit. As long as it looks good, as long as you know what those rules are to begin with. So really, I'm really assessing the main on a strand by strand basis. Oh man. Okay, down here, yeah. This is definitely a strand. We've established this. Okay, good. So I've gone light there, but then I'll take the mid-tone blue. Just pop a little bit of that in. And the same in there. I feel like these parts all out here would be a bit wild. I think they'll all be quite light coloured. Yeah, that's definitely a bit of unicorn in there, that gap there. I'll tidy that up at a later stage. Okay, with these ones here, I'm going to stick with the mid and the light colour. So mid colour in at the base here. And then flick some of that around a wee bit. Maybe put a little bit of ultramarine in there. Just a wee bit. We'll work around these wing feathers first. Get a little bit of a flick in there. And then we have to kind of like change direction. And we've got the last one here. Oh, chucking pencils about. Just as well I don't need that one anymore, doesn't it? Okay, dokie. Right, let's have a wee zoom out now and have a look at what we've got going on. Oh yeah, so the blue was definitely a good choice there for a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to employ more or less the same method up the top here with these pink colours. I do think I've got a bit of deciding to do, so this might actually be quite interesting to watch just as we go along. And this happens sometimes if I can't make my mind up about something. However, I do think it's going to give us a good level of contrast, so let's try, let's use the darkest pink first. Just in at these fringe roots or bangs. I'm really curious if we've got anyone watching from Australia. Do you guys call it a fringe as well, or do you have another word for it? I'm pretty sure. You know, there might be some differences here. I feel like this part in here would be really dark as well. This is such a gorgeous colour. This ruby red colour is lovely. Okay, so let's try both pinks here. So this is the one that's just called pink. Okay, this is like normal people's pink, as I would say. It goes again beautifully with this turquoise colour, which was what I was hoping. Okay, that looks like pink. And if we try the other one, which is the rose pink, it doesn't look that different. Open this as well. Is it subtly different or is it pointless different? Truthfully, don't know how I feel about this. I'm definitely leaning more towards the ordinary pink. I feel like I almost want to introduce like a purple colour here in at the roots. Okay, let's take the rose pink out of the equation just for a min. And let's see. Oh, I've got purplish red. Purplish red is 350. Now, oh, right, okay, I think I might have cracked it here. Okay, right, so a bit of a change about here. Purplish red, which is 350, I'm going to have as my darkest colour. My ruby red, 280, is going to be my mid-tone colour, and then the pink, which is 81, will be my lightest colour. I knew I would figure it out when I got there, and that's me, I'm quite happy. So based on what I've done just now, I'm going to take this purplish red, and I'm going to go back in at the roots here, just to kind of even this up a little bit in this particular section, and going forward we can get to work with this in some of the other parts. Yeah, okay, I'm a bit happier with that. Happy Gem. Okay, well that's made for an interesting fringe section anyway, so that's fine. So let's grab the normal people's pink on this front part here and get going. Get this done. We're not going to have time for paint today, but what that does mean is in the next video, it will be all spangly pink. No, it won't be. In the next video, it will be all spangly painting. Which, I don't know about you, but I kind of like that stuff. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so there we go. We've got that section here. Yeah, I do think in the next video that we will be able to finish off this right-hand page, apart from maybe the rainbows. The video after that, I want to focus entirely on this left-hand unicorn, and I was having a little think about this. Yeah, so in the next video, I want to finish this right-hand page. The following video, I will be doing the last unicorn, so I'll try and do that all in one sitting. And then for the final one, I would actually like to complete this double page as a live stream. So it would still be on a Thursday. It's just that I will do it live, and the video will go up, you know, straight after the fact. So it might be a bit later in the day. So if you would like that, I would love to hear from you. Even if you can't make it, I would still like to know if you quite like the live stream format as a little bit of a change. Because I always think when it comes more towards the end of these pieces, and I've talked about the, you know, the methods and things, and it's really just repeating previous techniques. I feel like a live stream's actually a bit of a better setting because it's a bit more relaxed and it means I can kind of like chat with you more, because obviously when I'm doing this, although I do chat to you and I do like to chat to you, it's like it's very one-sided. So if you would like to do that, or you think that's a good idea, please open your mouth and let your guts rumble down in the comments. I would love to hear from you about that particular thing. And I know a Thursday afternoon's not going to suit everyone. I get that, but see, you would be getting the video on the Thursday anyway, so I figured that was maybe quite sensible. Let's go. I'm really pleased that I've picked this colour combination now. I'm using the mid-tone here, and I'm going to go all the way down that strand. And then I can go back in with this purplish red, which is a really strong colour, by the way. So look, like that's rich. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Got this down here. So today is, I'm actually filming this the day before. I am so behind with videos and stuff. Lots of reasons. Number one, I am back and forth to the physio quite a lot just now with my neck. I'm not incapacitated, but things aren't great. And we're also desperately trying to get our lounge decorated because our carpet and sofa are arriving next week, so everything else needs to be done. Obviously, trying to paint with a sore shoulder and a sore neck is not ideal, but I do not have a choice. I have to do it. So that's one of the conversations I was having with the physio yesterday. So a combination of that, the fact that I was sick and then buggered off to Sweden for like nearly a week, I am still very behind. So you're literally seeing this the day after I'm filming it. So the chat that's going on is very current affairs. I am hoping to get caught up this weekend. Mr. Jem and I have planned out, our coats of paint, and if we stick to our schedule, I should have some breathing space at the weekend to actually get caught up properly, because I'm normally with the normal video schedule, so the Sunday Thursday videos, I'm normally one in for, I always say I've got one in the stable, so when a video goes up on a Sunday, the one for the following Thursday's already stacked, and it's just in case something happens and I don't have time to film, you guys aren't going to be left without a video. So yeah, I'm actually like 2 videos back right now, but that's okay. I mean, it's something that's easily sorted. If I can just get a wee window of time to get it back on track, it certainly won't take me long. So that's kind of the plan. I do have the members live stream to organise as well, so we're kind of in the midst of that too. So, I mean, the cave's fairly busy. We're fairly busy, and I've got stuff to sort out about Cavemas as well. Well, that's well underway. I think this part in here needs to be darker. And then I'm going to grab this lightest colour. Just pop a little bit in at the end here. And then once I get into the thicker area, you know, where it widens out, then start, widens, then start, we're using that flicky motion. Mama Jem actually said to me not that long ago, she said if you had to do something without using it like a hand gesture to assist you, you wouldn't manage it. Like if your life depended on it. I was like, no, absolutely not. Everything is assisted by a hand gesture. Right, I'm going to take this as all one strand here, I think. So I'm going to use my purplish red, so my darkest colour, which is absolutely divine. Look at it. See, I've kind of got a thing for these sort of colours just now. I don't know why. Just to work with, not to like wear or anything, just to work with. I really like a good sort of fuchsia or magenta-y type, like raw, ready, pinkish, purplish type colour. Oh, I know I've got issues. Just don't worry about it. I think this matches as well. I've got I was about to say a wee orchid. It's absolutely monstrous now. I had it as a tiny little seedling and I had no idea what it was. I rescued it. There was a couple that used to work for Mr. Jem at the old place. And they did a flit, you know, they kind of like left overnight. They just upped and left. And they left a lot of stuff behind, and one of them was this. It was obviously a cutting that had been taken from another plant and was grown in this in a yogurt pot of all things, and it was just like one little leaf poking out with some roots, and I had no idea what it was. And I was like, well, let's face it, it's going to die anyway. I'm really good at killing things, so chances are it's not going to be any worse off if I take it home and try and nurture it a wee bit. And it transpired it was an orchid, and orchids don't like to be watered that much, and that's probably the reason that it's been thriving in my care. So yeah, it's absolutely monstrous, but the flowers are so pretty, and they're white, but they've got this sort of like fuchsia speckle through them, and I think that's maybe why I'm quite drawn to that now, because it's a sign that I've succeeded with a plant, which is not a common occurrence for me, ladies and gentlemen. Not a common occurrence at all. I am not the most green-fingered of people. Right, I'm going to go with the lightest colour, which is the pink now. Just for these top strands, a bit like I did down here, same idea. And yeah, my success rate with plants is not, it's not great. Although, I ended up having to throw a Monstera out, which is really, they're pretty hardy plants as well, but it was infested with fungal gnats, and I just couldn't get rid of them, and I was so concerned for the rest of the plants in my care that I decided that it had to go because I didn't want them spreading to my poor orchid as well. So that was a bit unfortunate. I do have a new Monstera now here in the cave. When you're watching the live stream, you should be able to see it over my right shoulder. And it seems to be okay so far, but it's very small and young, and it actually needs a bigger pot, I think. I'm going to leave that to Mama Jem. She's pretty good with plants, and she said she would help me repot it. Again, do my best not to kill it. That's always a nice thing to do for a plant. So we'll try that and see. Oh goodness, that's another one broken. My God. I'm not doing very well today, am I? I do have this little glass jar that just to put my pencil sharpens in. My main bin is it's actually over by the packing station behind me. So this is quite handy just to have. I really shouldn't have done that on top of this. Also trying to get things in the bigger bin by balling them up when throwing them. A bit of target practice. That's good fun as well. There is a litter of items underneath the packing station desk where I have missed. I will pick them up in due course the next time I'm over in that direction packing orders. Okay. Now, I think that this is all tucking. This is the wing here, so this is all tucking in behind. So let's have that disappearing in there. This strand seems to be more prominent though, so I think we'll maybe have a little bit of the darkest colour there, and then we'll bring it into the lightest pink. Again, just so that some sections look as if they're sitting forward more than others. And I'm going to put the pink on this, but I'm going to add in the mid-tone colour. What did we decide the middle one was? Ruby red, yeah, ruby red. I'll add in some ruby red here. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we're nearly there, nearly there. Again, this is more like trying to decide what we're doing with things here. This might be here and here. If it is, I don't know where it's going, but let's pop in, because there's a little strand that pops out the bottom, so that might be related to that. Who knows? Yeah, I feel here there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I'm just going to do my best to fill these in sensibly. Okay, let's do that with that one. Get this one in here. Yeah, so today's Wednesday. Wednesday is my day off from my proper job. I've stopped saying day off full stop because I'm always doing something. So today's my day off from my proper job. So this afternoon, my plan, hopefully, is to get everything else done that I need to get done. So I've got another layer of paint to go on my lounge walls. It's a watered down coat because it was fresh plaster. So I am going to do that, and I'm going to edit this footage because obviously I need this video for tomorrow, Thursday, the day that you're going to see it. And if I have time left after that, I'm going to spend a couple of hours playing video games because that's what I like to do. I have a few other bits to do as well, but it's stuff that shouldn't take me too long, so I will, fingers crossed, get a little bit of recreation time today. I've been dying to start The Last of Us Part 1. I'm really hoping I get to do that this afternoon. I really want to. What's made me want to play it even more is the fact that I've been watching The Walking Dead. You all know I like a good bit of zombie action, and I think that's making me want to play it even more. So we'll get stuck into that. Hopefully. Just need to get through everything. It's a long list, but we'll get there. Okay, so stick with the lightest colour for these ends here, and we'll just sort of tart them up a little bit with the darker colours. Something else I really want to do over the next couple of weeks is to find myself a hairdresser as well. I would really like some coloured hair back, but I need a haircut so badly. So badly. Again, it's on my to-do list. Finding a hairdresser for me though is not always that easy. Not all hairdressers can handle really thick, long, wavy hair like mine, because it does tend to have a bit of a mind of its own sometimes. And due to that, I have had some terrible haircuts. So I will have to do a little bit of hunting about and see. And the thing is, I'm not actually precious of my hair because I'm always like, well, it grows back. I've had some outrageous haircuts in my time as well. Which again, yeah, why not? It's fun. Right, okay, I want to have one section a little bit darker, so let's use the purplish red here. And get a bit of flicking on the go now. Flicky, flicky. Such a rich colour. And we'll flick those down the way. And then we'll just grab the pink for that very end part. Yeah. And you can blend that together a little bit. You'll still have your flicky lines, will still be visible. But they're not too, you can still blend them out a little bit. Get these last few strands on the go. And a light pink again, just at the ends there. And we can flick that up and in. Okay, and there we have it. So let's see now. There we go. I'm really pleased with the colour selections because I did want this to be quite a bright image, quite sort of fun. What I do feel though is maybe when we come back at the end to sort of tidy things up, I think I would like some more contrast in the actual unicorns themselves, so I might bring in some indigo or grey just to really define some of these areas that we've put in pencil, especially around the sort of jawline in the face, but we can take a look at that in more detail next time. Right guys, that is it for today. Thank you very much for coming and joining me. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying this piece, and just following along or doing your own thing while I chat away as well. So that is it for today, guys. I shall see you back in the cave on Sunday with a video on time, as per usual. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye for now.